Hi, hello, welcome. I'm Ruth, and let's go ahead and chat about The Last Kids on Earth. If that sounds familiar, I did do a video a couple weeks ago about the last comics on Earth. And ideally, you'd want to read The Last Kids on Earth first before reading the last comics, just because you'll know a little bit more about the characters and then the reasons, why they are starting this comic series. So, The Last Kids on Earth, there are 12 books in this series. I won't be reading all 12, but I did get my hands on reading the first book and then this side quest book that's somewhere entered here in the book publishing timeline of this series. So, the first book is about the origin story of these characters and why and that they're in this predicament. So there's a zombie apocalypse that's happening, and how are these four kids, friends, acquaintances, how are they going to survive this? So there are two best friends. You have Quint, who is like the smart kid in the group, and then you have Jack, who is the I would consider like the leader of the group. So Quint and Jack are best friends. And then comes along Dirk, who is a bully. So he does kind of pick on Jack and Quint before the zombie apocalypse happen. And then June Del Toro, she is the badass female character, and she's independent and she does what she wants. She's spicy as well. So how are these four friends, again acquaintances, gonna survive this apocalypse? So that's the whole gist of the first book. um, what I liked about it. So I think there are, and I didn't really like count, you know, exact pages, but from like a general look through of the book, when reading it, of course, there seems to be a good amount of like text as well as pictures to go along with the story. I think that um, there are some things that get missed just because it is a kid's book, ages targeting ages 8 to 12. Some of the humor, right, is more towards kids, so I didn't really find it that funny, but I get where they were going. So like little things like that was for me a con, but otherwise the story itself, the characters, they're quite entertaining. So The Last Kids on Earth, the very first book, I would give it a 3 stars. So next we have this side quest book called The Last Kids on Earth, Quint and Dirk's Hero Quest. And so here in these two pair are trying to slay a dragon. So already a positive point in this book that they have a dragon in the story. Two, same thing as the first book where there's equal amounts of drawings to text, so it makes it like interesting to read. Other things, I appreciate that these two have their own little side quests that they go through, just because of the history of their, I guess, interactions. Like I said in the beginning, Dirk is a bully, so he wasn't really nice to Quint, and so for them to kind of work together off on this quest is really telling of like their growth as people, growth as friends. Hopefully they consider themselves friends, and growth in this progression of their life. So I love that they have their own little moment. And a lot of the other characters, for example, June Del Toro also has her own little side quest book that features just herself too. Uh, for this one, unfortunately, I didn't really get too invested in some of like the, guess you could call them alien characters introduced into this book. So that was like a con for me. And same thing, some kitty jokes. So that was also a con. So for this one, wasn't my favorite, and I would give this a 2 stars. So I also checked out the Netflix series. All right, everybody, let's see what the hoopla is about this show. It's based off of the book, The Last Kids on Earth. Of course, how does the cartoon show come about? It's because they get the source material from the books, obviously. So I watched some of the episodes. So right now, as of making this video, there's only 3 seasons. And so at least for the first episode, it was definitely based on the first book. So like literally from start to finish, not really too much free, like not artistic freedom, but like story freedom. The first episode really followed the storyline of the book. I loved the animation. I think they did a really good job of the shadows and really putting effort into the cartoons, because I have this thing where I just don't really enjoy watching certain American cartoons because I feel like compared to Japanese anime just blows a lot of American cartoons out the window. So love that they did that. And I think because it was an animation, more of the kitty jokes, I felt like they were better done in the cartoon versus in writing, if that makes sense. Just because you get to see the characters' intonations of the joke or their expression. So like it just does better, I think, in the cartoon. Like I said in the beginning, I won't be reading all 12 of the books. I think if I were to choose, I'd probably just continue on with, putting on the cartoon to watch. So that would be like my choice. So the cartoon, definitely great. The intro music is also great as well. It feels very spy, kitty, adventurous type of music. So well done on the music too. So cartoon series, I would give a 4 stars. I'm not done with it, but just from first impressions and a couple episodes I watched so far, it's been very entertaining. So 4 stars on the Netflix cartoon series. So if you haven't checked that out, I would recommend checking out the cartoon series, and let me know your thoughts. Did you like this book? Didn't you like this book? Who's your favorite character? Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. It really helped me a lot. Happy reading.